right now. There you go. Okay, guys. So let's try to remember what we were doing the last session. So as you know, and well, first of all, one very important announcement. You know that the grades will be ready today, as I told you yesterday. So during the day, please make sure you have a look at them. And in case you have any comment, question, doubt, whatever, tomorrow you can make it. You can just let me know via email or even via WhatsApp if you have any question about that, and I will make the corresponding corrections during the coming days. Do not forget that the deadline for making changes to the grades will be the next Monday, September the 21st. That's a deadline for making corrections on the grades. So that's a first announcement. Apart from that, we just started the second term, of course. And if you guys have checked the syllabus, the topic for this week is entertainment. So that's what I told you, that we would be like covering several things related to entertainment. So today, basically, yesterday and today would be talking about music, and tomorrow, for sure, we're going to be talking a little bit about films, which is also something really cool to talk about. And there are lots of vocabulary that we are extracting from these topics. Also, at the beginning of the week, we started talking about a little bit about active listening, and that's related with something that I found on the exams, and that was that the two skills that somehow we need to work a little bit more on are listening and writing. So that's why we have done that. So guys, yesterday, and I'm gonna start sharing my screen in this moment. Yesterday, we were working on this worksheet that you can see on your screens. So basically, we started talking about music. You guys did this discussion yesterday in groups, and you had a little homework for today, which was basically do the matching of these words. So I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I need to. Wow, why do we always do that? So yes, there you go. Okay. So you guys had to do the matching of this word. So that's essentially how we're gonna start. We're gonna start checking the meaning of those words. So let's do this. Give me 1 second. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, guys, so let's have a look at that. Okay, so the first word is exponentially. Apart from, it's not just about the meaning of the words, but also, if you remember this, guys, these are the parts of a speech. That's how we call them, parts of a speech, which is basically the kinds of words, right? The classification of the words, right? So do not forget that we use adverbs to modify verbs, essentially. They can also modify verbs, but we use them, adjectives, I'm sorry, but we essentially use them to modify verbs. So this is used to describe how an action is done, basically. It would modify a verb, mostly. So the first one, guys, exponentially. What would be the definition for this one? What do you think?
Well, teacher, I put the C.
Yeah, this one, right? Describes the way in which something is growing or increasing very quickly. Yes, absolutely true. That's the right answer. I'm so sorry, guys. That's the one. C, describes the ways in which something is growing or increasing very quickly. Yeah, that's the right answer. Let's have a look at the next one, which is countless. Adjective. We use adjectives to describe nouns, right? So countless, what would be the right answer for countless? 2 goes with which one?
E?
E, yeah,
Very much.
very many. Yes, that's the right answer. E, countless, which means that something has a very high number. So for example, if you say, I've got countless reasons to help you. So it's like, I got so many reasons. I've got very many reasons to help you with anything, right? Or I have countless reasons to leave this country. Some people might say these days, right? So yeah, that's the right answer. The next one is renown. This is not a very common word. Renown. It would go which way?
With B?
B, yeah, exactly, very good. Well known or famous, usually for a positive reason. So something which is renowned is something which everyone knows for a good reason. Number 4, quagmire. Quagmire, 4.
H.
H, a soft, wet area of land, which you may sink into if you walk across it. Right? So, and this is very typical of festivals, right? And even more here in Bogota when it rains, right? The land gets super soft and wet and you get dirty if you walk over it. So yeah, a quagmire. This is a very interesting word. Number 5, undeterred. What would be the right match for that one? Number 5.
Could be F.
Absolutely, yes. F, not prevented from doing something, even though it may be difficult or problematic. That's the right meaning for that adjective. The next one, number 6, wellies. Number 6. What would be the right answer for number 6?
A.
A, yeah, an abbreviated form of Wellington boots, which are rubber boots worn in wet, muddy conditions. So these are the typical, botas pantaneras, right? So those are the wellies. Although it seems to me that this is a very British word, I would say. So I don't know if they would call them like that also in the United States. Let me just double check. Because I don't know. I'm a little bit suspicious about that, but perhaps they can be used in other contexts as well. Number 7 then, demise. Number 7.
D.
Number 7 goes with D, yes. So that's the end or death of something, right? The end or death of something. And the last one, yes, that's the last one. Number 8, substantial. Which is the one we are missing?
G.
G.
G, large in size, amount, degree, or importance. Absolutely, yes. Let me see just this. Okay, guys. So that's how it goes. So now we're gonna do a reading on the Glastonbury Festival. That's the next thing we're gonna do. So and as you may remember, yesterday we said that one of the objectives that we had with this lesson this week was to do something we call reading for gist. So reading for gist, basically, it's another name for a strategy they also call scanning, right? Which means that we read the text, but first, instead of reading the text like in detail, line by line, what we do is to have a very quick view at the whole thing, right? Just to see what's the topic of it. So it's like you don't have to read 100% the text. You just pay attention to, for instance, numbers, like names, right? Just to say what we've got there. So that gives you an idea of what could be the general topic of the reading. So that's essentially what we are going to do. So let me see. Okay, guys. So if you have a look at here at your worksheet, we've got a question, and the question goes: do you think this is an event you would like to go to? Why? That's the question. And now I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes to apply this technique that I said. So I think let me just share my screen to show you something else. So perhaps this is something that you guys might be familiar with. This is something you might be familiar with. So there are two techniques that are very common. So I'm just writing down this thing here. So let me just share my screen. So guys, I don't know if you're familiar with these two strategies for reading, the scanning and skimming, because this is super popular.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, what are these two techniques about?
Well, scamming and skimming is like to read and to pick the words you don't understand. So the idea is like, as the word says, like scanning. So you have a look and you see if you can understand all the text and you pick the words you don't understand. Skimming is like the thing that do with the fish. So we do the same, but with the words that we don't understand.
There we go. So yeah, that would be a good definition of it. But essentially, in the case of these two strategies, that means that we are not reading in detail. So as you can see, based on Felipe's explanation, we are not reading the whole text line by line. But what we do is just to have a quick view at the text, just to see if, as he said, you understand what's there, right? And if you are missing something, perhaps. So that's just for having a very quick view at the text. But also, yeah, in the yesterday's the objective of this lesson, we said that we're gonna read for gist, right? This is also a name for this kinds of strategy. So to read for gist is just to know what's the general topic, just to see what the text is about. So it's like you just read certain parts really quick and you say, okay, this text is about this, and this is essentially what it says, but you don't know the details, you don't know everything. So for example, here, if you have a look at the text, it's actually a short text, it's just one page. So you've got some numbers, you can read the numbers really quick. We've got also some names, so we know that we've got here some names of authors, artists, and also we've got some years and stuff. So it's just about having a look at that, right? So that's what we would do in that case. So guys, I'm gonna give you exactly 2 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna have 2 minutes just to read the text really quick. And well, not completely, remember, we're gonna read for a gist, which means that we're gonna scan the text really quick, and just to answer this question. Okay, so you guys will have a look at the text really quick and answer this question in a moment. Okay, guys, so you got right now exactly 2 minutes to do that. Okay, so please. Okay, guys. So based on that reading, and by the way, I'm going to, because a couple of people, I think, are having problems with the worksheet for some reason. So I'm going to share the worksheet again. Um, give me 1 second, I'm sorry. So I'm going to share the link to the worksheet right here on the chat box again. So it's right there. So guys, based on this really quick view that you had of the reading, is it a festival you would like to visit perhaps? What do you think about it? Is it a music fest that you might want to go for some reason? What would you say?
Yes, I would like to go.
Why?
It's a little bit expensive, but I would like to go because there is like a good music, like excellent people, and we can exchange cultures. So it's
Yeah.
like something like Tomorrowland. So we
Yes,
exchange
yes.
like
Mhm. Yeah, and you know what? For those of you who perhaps like rock music, I don't know who would like to have an opinion on this, because I've got a very, let's say, concrete opinion on it, and it's for those of you who like rock music. Which rock bands are better, American rock bands or British rock bands? Talking about just rock music.
I think that British, maybe.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, that's what I think as well.
Well, it's an interesting point because uh, in England, in all the music British, uh, it's the land and heavy metal born because it's the
Uh-huh.
most of
Yeah.
the oldest heavy metal bands exist.
Uh-huh.
And uh, in England, now in United States, in America, it they create the the grunge like this, and so a different genre to the heavy, but
Uh-huh.
it's similar, and that's mm, and and that is characteristic of those two lands.
Mhm.
So that's the
Yeah.
difference, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Although I believe that somehow, like a specific branches of rock, like metal music, somehow developed more in the United States. So I believe, in my opinion, although as I said yesterday, metal music is not my favorite. Somehow, like metal bands from the United States are somehow like better, perhaps. Although we know that there are mythical bands from the UK, like Iron Maiden, for instance. But in the United States, somehow that specific branch of rock developed a little bit more. But there are some other branches of rock music that are simply way better in the UK, and even more in the new bands. You say so. It's like most like more recent bands from the UK are also super good. So I really like him. I personally, talking about rock music, I somehow prefer British bands, just in my opinion. And as you can see here in the worksheet, I asked that question because, well, most of the artists that they describe here in the worksheet are British. So that's a case of, well, Paul McCartney, you know, from the Beatles, and Oasis, for instance. Coldplay, I think they are British as well. And there are some also some American artists like Beyonce or Jay-Z, for instance. So yeah, that was the reason why I made this question. Okay, guys, so now we're gonna work in groups for the next exercise, and in this case, for the next exercise, we do have to read in detail. So for the task number 5, what you guys have to do is to read in detail. So we're gonna say what those figures we've got there, those numbers, refer to. Okay, so to do that, as you can see in the task number 5, let me see, I want to just share my screen so we can see that more clearly. To do this, you do have to read the full text. Okay, so for this activity, guys, we're gonna make groups of 3 to 4 people maximum, and I would like you to please do this part. And for that, of course, you need to read it in detail. Okay, so you can decide under groups how exactly you're gonna divide the text or the whole task, if that's the case. And then, well, of course, do that. Let me see. Huh. So we're gonna have 6 groups for this activity. Okay, guys, so let's do the task number 5. We're gonna do it in pairs, and in around 5 to 7 minutes, more or less, we'll be back in the main session. Okay, let's do this.
Hello, teacher.
27. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the fourth paragraph, the festival is renowned for being extremely muddy.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
To make way for the Olympics and give the Farmland a chance to recover registration for tickets is already open. So, and the second answer, 100,000, sería
So we're gonna have a look at the answers. We're gonna check the answers, but I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna do it the other way around. So that means that we're gonna start with the last answer, which is, I mean, the last question, which in this case would be the number 1, you see. We're gonna do it the other way around, so I can use my worksheet with the answers to illustrate the answers. Okay, guys, so if we do that this way, the number 1 corresponds to what? Number 1, guys.
Cost of the tickets when the festival was created.
Yeah, it's, as you can see here, is the price in pounds of a ticket to the first Glastonbury Festival, right? So that's the cost of the ticket, or the price of the ticket in pounds for the first Glastonbury Festival. Then 1994. What's that, guys? 1994. Who's got that answer, guys?
when it burns down a week before begins the
I don't understand. I'm so sorry. Would you please repeat it?
that was burned a week before the concert start.
Okay, I get it. Now I understand. So yeah, but in that case, the answer we've got here is that was the year in which the pyramid stage burned down. So it was a tragedy, basically, that happened back then, in which that stage burned down. So if we have a look at it here, really quick, as you can see here, look, like there was a presentation by David Bowie, but then in 1994, it burned down just a week before the festival. So it was like a tragedy before the festival, if that's what you mean. So there you go. So the next number we've got there, the next number was 2002, guys, 2002. What do we have for that one?
Security increase.
Excuse me?
Security increase.
Security increased. Security increase. So yeah, that's a way to say it. They also said, for instance, the year security was tightened and the super fence was created. So yeah, increase would be a synonym of tighten. To tighten is like, it's as if we said in Spanish, like la seguridad se volvió más apretada, but we don't say that, right, in Spanish, because to tighten is to get something tight, you see, like apretado. So yeah, the years, that was a year in which security was increased somehow. Yeah, absolutely. Then 195. 195, guys. What do we have for that one?
The price of the tickets in 2011.
So let's see what we have for that one. Yeah, there was a price in pounds of tickets in 2011. That is true. Next one, guys, 250,000. 250,000.
People
Well,
go to the
excuse me, Jose, I cannot hear you very well.
the what was the people who were to the event and people
Mhm.
attended the event.
That's the number of people who attended the event in the year 2000. So that's the number of people who attended the festival in the year 2000. Okay, then we have more than a million. More than a million. Who's gonna answer this one?
Was the amount of pounds that was donated?
Number of pounds that were donated, let's say. So that's the amount of money that was donated to charity in 2003. That is absolutely true, Alejandro. Thank you. The next one, 1997. 1997, guys. What do we have there?
Well, the festival is renowned.
The festival is renowned, but exactly.
Renowned.
Let's see. So the year in which the festival is renowned most for being very muddy. So there is a reason. That's what I said. So it's renowned, but for what? For being very muddy. So it's like because of the weather, you see, and that's, you know, that the weather in the UK most of the year is very cold and slightly rainy. So it was super muddy, you see. So it's like lots of quagmires, remember. So yeah, that's a year in which the festival was renowned by that. That's funny. Then we have 1970.
That was the first festival.
That was the year the festival began, right? There you go. Then we have number 4. Which, how many are we using? Okay, now number 4. Number 4.
Was the time where the tickets were sold in just 4 hours.
Okay, wow. That's the number of hours in which tickets sold out in 2011. That's just crazy, right? Just 4 hours and they sold out everything. That's just crazy. Then we have 150,000. 150,000 guys here. 150,000. What's that?
Teacher, I have a question in that part.
Yes.
So well, with my group we didn't find it. We found 1 million, right? So I don't know, that was a mistake or something.
Let's see.
Right,
Because
that in the first paragraph.
No, in the first paragraph says 1500.
Yes, but in the year 2011, there were approximately 100 times more.
there you go. Yes, absolutely true. So the point here is that the information is not literal, you see, so it's somehow implicit. So it's implicit. So it's like they are saying, like, for instance, like in 1970, as you can see here, only 1,500 people attended, right? But this number has grown exponentially. So in 2011, there were like 100 times more people than in 1970. So we can infer then that in 2011, we had this number that we need here. So in 2011, we had this number, you see? So yes, as you just pointed out, John, it's that the point is that information is not explicit, but it's implicit, you see. So let's see the answers, and actually look, it's the approximate number of people who attended in 2011, you see. So yeah, there you go. So it's the information is not explicit, but it's there. Okay, Felipe?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Then we have 2013. 2013, guys.
The next class February festival will take place or was take place?
Okay, so yes, that has to do with the location. So the year the next Glastonbury Festival will take place, right? So, that's of course because this worksheet is from 2012, if I'm not wrong. Yes. So yeah, like in 2013 there was a Glastonbury Festival. That would be the answer there. I just gave you the answer to the next one. So 100,000, as you could see here, 100,000 was the number of tickets sold in the year 2000. And then we have 1,500, which is the number of people who attended the first Glastonbury Festival. Okay, guys, so those were the answers. There's another thing that I would like to draw your attention on, and that's this word. Let me show it to you. This word, guys, figures. So now that we just did this exercise, do you understand what figures is in this context, guys? This word? Do you understand what this word means based on this context, perhaps? Yeah, so it's numbers, but that's what we would also call in Spanish like cifras. Okay, so this word is very important, guys. This is a word that you should absolutely include in your vocabulary, because it's like we know it, because in Spanish we have a very similar word. So figure could be both like cifra or figura. But when we talk about numbers, and even more when we would talk about money, for instance, figure is a very well-used word. It's a word that we use a lot for that. Okay, so let's try to keep it in mind. Okay, guys, so now we're gonna completely change the dynamics of what we are doing. So there is a very special activity for tomorrow, which is gonna be the first grade for the second term. And I just received a suggestion at the beginning of the session, so I decided to change that activity a little bit, but it would be quite interesting to do. So this is what we're gonna do now. So as you can see here at the end, they suggest some activities. We will not do these activities, but we'll do something similar to this second option, something similar. It's not exactly the same thing, but we're gonna do something similar. So it's gonna be a work in groups, okay? So we're gonna do this activity in groups. But this is not what we're gonna do. So we're gonna make groups, that's the first thing. And I would like to have at least 5 groups, that's my plan. So each one of the groups has to choose one music festival from around the world. But each one of the groups is going to be assigned a different continent. Okay, so for instance, let's say we have 5 groups, and I say, okay, group number 1, you guys have to choose a festival from South America. Number 2, you guys have to choose a festival from North America. Number 3, a festival from Africa, and so on and so forth. So you have to look based on the region or continent that you are assigned. You guys will choose a music fest, and you have to work on the following. Let me just see. You have to work on the following aspects, guys. So I would like you to please, in this moment, I would like you to make a screenshot or take a photograph of this, because this is the information that you guys are gonna look for, okay? So you guys are gonna do some research on these aspects of that music fest that you guys will choose. So let's say you choose Rock in Rio, so festival name, Rock in Rio. When it began, I don't know, location, Brazil. When it takes place, like, I don't know, every year, whatever, you see? So you have to look for that information, you see? And once you collect that information, I would like you to make a poster. So this is something you could do even, I don't know, like in Canva or like in PowerPoint. It's your decision. So you're gonna make a poster of the music fest, and that poster could be something. I mean, what's an example of a poster? Well, the one that I showed you yesterday, right? So yesterday we had a look at this poster. So this is an example of a beautiful poster, but you could do it completely different. But this is more or less what I would expect, just that I would need you to include part of that information. And it's not like you need to include all the information in the poster, not necessarily, because, well, you see, that would be super saturated. But what I would like you to do is like basically two things. So we're gonna make the groups, that's first. Number two, I will assign you a region, so you guys have to look for a festival, a music festival. Number three, you will create a poster based on that festival, right? And number four, you guys are going to present, you're gonna present the posters tomorrow, right? And present the festival. So let's say my group did the research on Rock in Rio, as I said. We present the poster, we present the festival, so we talk about the festival really quick, and you have to include these aspects, right? And this is based on the suggestion I received. You guys are going to also create like a little game or something that we can do at the end of your presentations, just to check comprehension. You see, so for example, one very clear example of what you could do is that you could create a poster, present the Music Fest, and do a Kahoot game by the end of the presentation, you see? So the presentation is really, it's something super simple. It should take maximum like 5 minutes, more or less, and we're gonna have groups of 4 people, so it shouldn't take that much, because as you can see, the information is very specific. It's not like concepts, it's just facts, you see? So the name, when it began, the location, when it takes place, how often it happens, how long it lasts, the price of tickets, the sort of music played, famous artists, other attractions. So it's something really quick, something you could do actually during a class. You can prepare that. So that's what we're gonna do. So guys, I'd like to know if you understand what we have to do for tomorrow. I don't know if you have questions about that.
Teacher, the poster is for group or for person?
Per group. It's 1 poster per group. Okay, so that's why I said this is super simple. And even if you look for it on Canva, you will find some templates. So you just have to change a couple of things. So that's something you'll do really quick. It shouldn't take that much. Okay, guys? By the way, I will create the groups myself. I know this is not the best thing to do, but believe me, when we are working online, it's somehow better, because if I allow you to create the groups, and even more if it's for an activity which is just for tomorrow, that might take forever. So I prefer to create the groups myself. So like we skip that part somehow. Okay, guys, is that okay with you? So I'm gonna create the groups so we can take the rest of the session to start working on that. So I'm gonna create the groups, and you guys will start looking for the information, setting everything up for tomorrow. And I will be here, of course, to help you in case you need something. So I will create the groups, and I also will assign you the region or continent that you need to look for, the festival. So let's see. So we're gonna have, I believe, 5 groups. Yes, that's a good number. Let me just see. Give me 1 second. Okay, guys, so I just created the groups. There you go. Okay, guys, so these are gonna be the groups. It's not like I actually create. I don't know if you could see my screen. But anyways, these are going to be the groups. Let me see. I don't know if you guys can see this box with the names of the people. Can you see that?
No, teacher.
No, right? Because I believe that Zoom doesn't show you that. So I'm gonna just read the names of the people in each one of the groups, and then I will assign you the continents and regions. So group number 1 will be Andres Felipe Bueno, Lina Rodriguez, Tatiana Bando, and Santiago Hernandez. That's group number 1. Group number 2 is gonna be Ana Maria, Maria Alejandra, Dylan Paez, and Tania Gomez. Number 3 will be Brian Aguilera, Clara Monroy, Juan Paramo, and Tatiana Spitia. Number 4, Ana Maria Buendia, Johannes Martinez, Sofia Carvajal, Estefania Portugues. And number 5, John Gonzalez, Jose Diaz, Linda Martinez, and Jeritza Garcia. Those are the groups. Okay, guys? So right now, please listen to me very carefully. I will, no, actually, you know what? I'm gonna create the groups, and I will enter each one of the rooms, and I will tell you the continent or region in each one of them, so we don't get confused, okay? So guys, do not forget, I will assign you a region or continent, and then you're gonna look for a festival. Next step, you are going to collect the information that I just shared with you, which is also I think it was Tanya. Somebody already shared it on the WhatsApp group, so you guys have there the information that you need to collect. Then you will, organize everything. So you prepare like a very short presentation, which is super simple. It's just tell us those facts, and you're gonna create the poster and a little game that we can do by the end. I would suggest Kahoot, because Kahoot is very simple and super quick for that. So I would suggest Kahoot. If you want to use a different application, that's also okay. But remember that the point is that all the groups would have maximum 10 minutes for that. So it's like, should be around 5 minutes for presentation and 5 minutes more or less for the game. That's it, okay? And that's for tomorrow. So I'm gonna create the groups. I'm gonna open the rooms right now, and I will enter to each one of the rooms, and I will tell you the region or continent that you guys have to work on. So let's do this. Okay, hello guys. So the region I would like you to work on is North America. Okay, so you guys have lots and lots of options. So I would like you to choose one festival from North America. Okay.
Okay.
So it could be Mexico, the United States, or Canada, basically. Those are the options you have. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. Okay, hello guys. So I would like you, in your case, I would like to choose one festival from South America. Okay, that's the region I would like you to do some research about. Okay, South America.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, great, excellent. So you guys can start working on that right now. And if you need something, just let me know. Okay. Hello guys. So the region that I would like you to work on, that's a very special one. I'd like you to look for a festival in Africa. Okay, that's the region that I would like you to work on. Okay, you have to look for a music fest in Africa.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, teacher. Thank you. Okay, guys, hello.
Hello, teacher.
Okay, guys, so the region I would like you to work on is Europe. Okay, so I would like you to look for a music fest in any country in Europe. Okay.
Okay. Okay, teacher.
Thank you very much. So, hello guys. So, I would like you to please choose a music fest in Asia. Okay, Asia. That's the region you guys have to work on. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Asia. It can be any country in Asia. So, you guys can start working on that right now. And if you have questions, just let me know. I'll be here until 9. Okay?
Thank you, teacher.
There we go.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
So guys, for tomorrow, remember what we're gonna do tomorrow. So basically, each one of our groups is gonna present the poster, and you guys are gonna use that poster basically to give us those details on the festival that you guys chose. That's basically it. And each one of the groups has been assigned a different region. Remember that these are the details that you need to present in tomorrow. So of course the festival name, when it began, so it's a little bit about history, the location, like the exact city and country, when it takes place, so the frequency of the event. No, I mean, no, when it takes place is the date, basically, and how often it happens is the frequency. How long it lasts, you will give also details on how many days before perhaps it takes, the regular price of tickets, the kinds of music there, like the music genres and that stuff, famous artists that have been in that festival, and other attractions or other aspects you may consider. So that's a presentation that would normally take around 5 minutes maximum. And you don't need to have a PowerPoint presentation. Remember, your PowerPoint presentation is going to be simply the poster. That is it, nothing more. And then when you finish the presentation, at the end, you will do a activity like a game, basically. So as I was telling one of the groups, this game, there are two options for this game, I believe. One is to, like, which is the most obvious one, is to make a comprehension game. So that's why I gave you the Kahoot example. So it's like we present the information, and then at the end we do this Kahoot just to see if people understood our presentation. That's it. And the other option is to do an activity or game which is related with the topic of the festival. So for example, if it's a festival which is famous for electronic music, so it's a festival which is like, I don't know, like, let me think about one. I don't know if Tomorrowland is like that, I believe. I don't know if it's mostly electronic music. So let's say it's a festival which is Ultra. There's a festival which is called Ultra, by the way, and I know that that one is just electronic music. So it's famous for that kind of music. So we do a game which is related to electronic music. So it's like a game in which we listen to different soundtracks, and then we need to identify the kind of music genre, something like that. I don't know. So like you have those two options, and each one of the groups is going to take around 10 minutes with the whole thing. So we're going to just listen to the presentations, and we're going to do the games, and that's basically it. And I will give you, of course, the first grade of the term with that. So let me just, give me 1 second. I will make a screenshot in this moment of the groups so I can keep it, because I need to keep that. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm doing it right away. So I've got it here, and I'll put it over here. Yes, so I just made a screenshot of the groups, so I already have that information for tomorrow, as you can see it. Okay, guys, so these are the groups in case you're watching my screen right now. So if you want to make a screenshot of this for some reason, you can do it as well. Okay, guys, so do you have any question, any doubt, whatever? Everything's clear for tomorrow?
So we had just 10 minutes for presentation?
For everything. For the presentation and the game, more or less. It's not like if it's 10 minutes and you haven't finished, I will totally cut your presentation. I might give you a couple of minutes more, but that's the average. Because as you can see, the presentation is something very specific. It's not about concepts or anything. It's just facts. Okay?
Yes.
So that's basically it. There is a message in the chat box. Okay. So, because I'm receiving a message right now. Wow. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. I will make this message public, but it's like I cannot take that long. So, Maria Alejandro, talking about Ashley, If she wants, she can work with your group for tomorrow. She can join your group, or if she can't connect tomorrow, just tell her to email me and tell me the problem, so I got that. You see, that's for about Ashley. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna call the attendance right away, and then you guys are free to go. So give me 1 second as I click on do the corresponding clicks here on the platform. And tomorrow, guys, we're gonna have the grades. So please make sure. Actually, tonight, the grades will be in the system. So make sure to check them. And if you have any questions, just let me know by tomorrow. So, guys, let's call the attendance. Brian Aguilera.
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
John Jairo Herrera, no, he's not. Oh my God. Ana María Buendia.
Here, teacher.
Andrés Felipe Bueno.
I am here.
Angie Sofía Carvajal.
I am here.
José Díaz.
Here, teacher.
Tia.
I'm here, teacher.
Yoritza García.
I'm here, teacher.
Tania Gómez.
Here, teacher.
John González.
Here, teacher.
Santiago Hernández.
Here, teacher.
Oh, Ashley's not here, I know. Marcela Jiménez, no. Linda López. Yep. Johannes Martínez.
Present.
Clara Monroy. Clara's not in the house. Oh, yes, she's here. Tatiana Wando.
Here, teacher.
María Ortiz. Ana María Ortiz. Oh, I think she was here. Well,
Yes, teacher.
she is here, right? Okay. Dylan Paez.
She has some problems with her
Present,
connection.
teacher.
No worries. Okay, Dylan. Juan Esteban Páramo.
Present, teacher.
Estefanía Portugués.
Present, teacher.
Lina Rodríguez.
Present, teacher.
Daniela Rodríguez. Daniela. Not here, seems like. Carlos Rojas. Carlos Rojas. Guys, be careful, because if I call you and you don't answer, I cannot change the attendance later. Okay, so Carlos Rojas is not here, right? Okay, Ana María Ortiz, don't worry. Then María Alejandra Triana.
Present.
And Alejandra Velandia.
Me, teacher.
Okay, guys, so once again, thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you tomorrow. By the way, antes de que lleguemos a más actividad, que es cuando se despiden, like tomorrow, I'd like to, if we get time, I like to check the learning menus. So because that's something that we have been like ignoring for a couple of weeks. So I'd like to have a little discussion about that, just a couple of minutes by the end of the session, just to see how you guys have done. And basically to remind us about the purpose of that exercise, because that's very important. As you know, for the third term, there is a self-assessment grade, and that self-assessment grade is going to be based basically on the experience we had with the learning menu. So that's why it's super important we keep on, you know, like reflecting and working on that. So guys, once again, thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
See you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher. Have a good day.
Bye, teacher.
See ya.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.
Bye, guys.